Hi, I am Slahser, and this is my way of playing Leshrac Support. I max Diabolic Edict first, pushing towers as much as I can. Sometimes I even hide behind a nearby tree to sneakily kill their towers. One main argument against playing Leshrac Support is that 2 of his spells require that you are very close to the enemy. Thus you need to get farm and gold so you can buy items to survive being this close. But as a support, even if you are more squishy and thus die, you still get to deal a lot of damage before dying. And your Diabolic Edict continues damaging even though you are dead. My standard item build is Arcane boots, bracer, wand and a raindrop, and then going Rod of Atos and Yules. Rod of Atos gives both health and mana, which is great for Leshrac, and the root helps set up your stun. Leshrac also has an awesome 325 base move speed and good armor and health, so he's quite survivable even with just say a bracer and a wand. With just Rod of Atos, Arcane boots, wand and bracer at level 11, Leshrac has 1770 health and 9 armor, which is great for a support. His biggest strength is that he's insanely good at pushing towers, being able to deal 640 pure damage to a tower at level 3 and 1200 damage at level 7. He's also very good at fighting early on and in the mid game with his pure damage and AoE. He does often fall off a bit late game compared to some supports, but I think his pushing ability makes up for that. He isn't the best at ganking mid, since your edict needs a lot of empty space to work, but he's great at ganking the side lanes. People often take anti-mage against me, but I don't mind that at all. Leshrac's edict, which is pure damage, is good against anti-mage in lane, and he can't defend towers when you push with edict. I often like to get mechanism on my supports, since cores rarely build it nowadays, but I'm not sure if it is a good idea on Leshrac, since you need all the mana that you have and more. He is also an undukable hero when you are hitting them with edict, as you can see where the explosions hit them even when they are in fog. Try get a first blood when people run to their lane, or at least harass them a lot with edict. Max edict, but up to you if you want to go with the stun or lightning with your edict. The stun can be very hard to hit, since Leshrac's wind up to cast it is so bad, but the damage and stun time is good. Lightning is much more convenient to cast, but isn't that strong of a spell, and is more mana expensive than your stun. If you decide to go with the stun, I wouldn't skill lightning at all, since you don't have mana for it. But don't skip the stun if you take lightning with edict, as the stun is good to have later in team fights. You can also consider to just get 1 point in stun and then go lightning with your edict. But the AoE of the stun is very low at level 1, though the stun time isn't affected by leveling it up. Make sure you position yourself so edict only hit heroes, and isn't shared among enemy creeps, since then it will deal very little damage to your target. Don't try to solo a full health monkey position 1 that is 2 levels above you. I considered skipping ulti until level 9, but I think it's just too good of a spell not to take, and you're going to be close to the enemy anyways with your edict. Against Rubric I recommend taking lightning instead of stun, because the stun is way too good on Rubric if he steals it. It can also be quite difficult to prevent him from stealing it by casting other spells after, since it takes so long to cast the stun. I barely make any money on YouTube, but that is fine since I make a living as a solo indie game developer. Check out my games on Steam to support me. You can do it for free by wishlisting Behold Battle.